What's up, everybody? We are back with Knigobi. We're gonna play we throw some dice on the Game Master's Compendium of Explosive Creation. But first, if you haven't seen her yet, you're about to because she's taking over YouTube. We all can read the tea leaves. It's happening. Uh, Knigobi, tell us where folks can find you and what you're doing
Uh,
up there.
I am Knigobi, all over. Usually I mostly post on YouTube. I touch my Instagram once in a while. You can find my Gobi guides on my threads, or over in my Discord, which is linked on my YouTube. But usually YouTube is my most active. But if you can find Knigobi, I'm usually there. Like, I make D&D videos and yeah, D&D videos. I'm also a cosplayer, so sometimes I throw that out there in my shorts, but yeah.
Yay! You're
Kind of
also
like
very crafty.
yes.
I saw you made, which I might steal. I have this old like the vinyl mat thing with the squares, but you took I don't know if it was a window. You took a sheet of plate glass and put a one by one grid on it so you can draw a map and then put the grid on top of it, which
Yeah,
I thought was
so that's
a
actually just a
brilliant
cheap
idea.
it's a cheap Walmart frame, like a poster
Hmm.
frame that
Hmm.
I use the Sharpie on. That's why
So,
it's like the plexi, so it's like super light and it's easy to like bring around and it won't like break and shatter any place. And then I usually just carry around a dry erase board with me because I don't know what my players are going to do day to day. So I don't plan maps. They give me what they want and I scribble it up real quick and oh yeah.
and you've got the lanterns. You are going to make, I think you were a woodworker who was going to make your own DM screen, but that
Yes.
has not
Got my
happened yet.
lanterns on my desk. Always
But yeah,
got them
you got
on
the
me.
speaker lanterns. And you got that quest board video.
Yes, yes. I did recently do a quest board video that talks about how I plan quests for upcoming cities, but I go through the process showing you guys how I actually make all the individual quests using like little pieces of art and writing so they all look like they're made by different people and individuals in the city to really bring it to life. Yay.
That's dope. Yeah. I think it's very easy to underestimate like having a real like in-world like artifact to pass
Mhm.
over the dungeon master screen and watch the players like eyes light up like wait, this is I don't know. It just
Yeah.
ups the immersion so much more.
Especially like with the quest board, like I have actual like I write out in Thieves Can, and sometimes I hide other quests behind other ones. So
Hmm.
yeah, I try to put a lot of little secret hidden things that are physically in there that, yes, they could roll a perception check, but it's so much more satisfying to watch my players like picking quests and being like, oh, what is this? Like, and they all get all excited. So yeah.
I love that. Do you have like apartment for rent little like tear off things and like stupid
I
in
do.
world like
I
yeah.
do. My favorite one so far is the last city they were in had a restaurant that was opening called Wolves at Walk.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like men at work, but wolves at walk, and they were brothers, and I love them so much.
Wait, is WALK or WOK?
WOK.
WOK. Okay, cool.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I
they
heard.
were they were like a little ramen shop. They were great.
Yes.
They
Yes.
like
Yeah, I love that. Also have a soft spot for Men at Work, actually. Really love Colin A. Yeah, good stuff.
oh yeah.
All right, you are a creative, awesome person, and I am looking forward to getting creative and awesome with you with the Game Master's Compendium of Explosive Creation. So, first stop on our tour here is we are going to pick out an archetype. Think like backgrounds. We're gonna build a
Hmm.
character backstory here.
Okay.
You can roll a D100 or you can choose one off the table of contents there. Player's choice.
Oh, I like it so much more at random.
But you're gonna enjoy the rest of this.
It's gonna be 32.
A 32 is an entertainer.
Ha!
That was
Got
a
a soft
strong.
spot for him. I got
Okay.
a soft spot for him. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to roll one of everything. Sans the D100. I want the D10, but not the percentile side of things.
okay.
And then you can do it one at a time if it's easier for you because like space constraints or whatever, but it's definitely more fun to throw a fistful.
Definitely more fun to throw a fistful. especially when the D4 jumps up onto my keyboard, which is the D4 is a 1. So
I'm gonna ask you for the D20 first, please and thank you.
D20 first. It's going to be a 12.
12. Okay, so this is our drive, our dream, our aspiration. What is our entertainer's motivation? That's extra important for an entertainer. All the world's a stage, might as well play.
Incredible. It's almost like my dice are speaking different slang.
I feel like you would appreciate this is secretly, don't tell anybody, but this is secretly like a divination tool. It's like a synchronicity engine. So yeah.
Okay.
All the world's a stage, might as well play. I like it. So I should say, if you see something else leap out at you, we're allowed to take it or combine entries or whatever. But
Okay.
you feel good about that? You had a
Yeah.
good reaction to it.
I'm going with it. I can run with anything. Like
All right, let's see how that plays off of the D12, our catalyst, our call to adventure.
that's gonna be an 11.
11. Secrets found while seeking new material. Okay.
Okay.
In your mind, what kind of entertainer is this character? Do you have like inklings yet?
Not yet.
Let's see, might as well play. I mean, because like out of the gate, I feel like actor, but that's also like, I don't know, anyone will quote Shakespeare. I don't care if you're a musician or what. But we're seeking secrets found while seeking new material. New material. That makes me feel like comedy or something. Or like the quest behind the quest on the board.
I
Uh,
almost feel like I almost feel like not a like magicians feel almost weird, like the idea of the traditional magician because like magic's real.
hmm.
Why is but I feel like something very flashy, like somebody who manipulates magic in a way that, a magic show is something people want to see. You know what I mean? One of my favorite characters I've ever made was a fire eater, and that was so much fun because you don't normally see that. So I'm feeling kind of like this magic show, but it's just that they find new ways to use magic, and they're always looking for new, more powerful magic to use in their shows.
Yeah, because I do feel a magic show would be different in a world where
Yes.
magic is existing. Sorry, kids at home. If yeah, magic's real. Never mind. But the the idea is like there would be some sort of Gandalf rolling up with the magic fireworks. Like
Yeah.
there would be dope magic shows. Actually, it wouldn't cancel it. It would just like multiply them.
Oh yeah, but I think like a lot of people may not even see magic in the day to day. Like yes, little things, but you got to think the average person in a city probably isn't seeing huge battle magic like a fireball being thrown. And if somebody was able to have a way that they could manipulate that to show people, I feel like that'd be a really cool entertainer and somebody who would have a reason to be finding secrets and trying to find more unique, powerful magic. You know what I mean?
Oh, for
What do
sure.
you think?
Yeah, because now we're looking for like, I'm getting like sorcerer, wizardy vibes. Maybe warlock. You go to the circus, I get warlock pretty quickly. But yeah, we're looking for either new flammable materials, if we're gonna stick with the fire, or yeah, we're looking for scrolls. We're looking for spell books. We're looking
I like the
for
scrolls and spell books.
yeah.
No.
And that's a good thing to like walk. If a player walks in with that, it's like, okay, I know what to like tee up as a dungeon master in a lot of ways. Okay, D8 is going to be our potential character arc. So you don't want to like define this too rigidly, but having an idea like how your character might grow can kind of help you lean in the other way.
That is going to be a 6.
6. From a big fish in a small pond to tossed into the deep. That like kind of
Fair.
dovetails with like I ran away and joined the circus, right?
I feel like maybe with that though, maybe they didn't necessarily join anything because they were so used to being on their own.
Hmm.
And then they took their maybe they were in a very small town and their magic's cool. And the reason why they're pushing themselves so hard now to find secrets is because they got out into the real world and they're like, oh, people aren't as impressed by this. Hold up. So,
Yeah, you were the coolest kid on your block because you could do prestidigitation, and now
Buddy mended a vase and everyone's like, yay! Like,
Yeah, I like that. Are you getting a vibe on like class, maybe species?
I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for Genasi.
Oh,
I'm such a sucker for Genasi. I'm thinking flashy, and I feel like maybe an Earth Genasi, but they have like crystals kind of growing off of them here and there. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Little razzmatazz, little sparkle
Really, really
action.
like look the part, you know?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, because a
yeah.
good music, because like especially if we're playing with fire, literally, like we're producing light, so like we got some good like kind of rhinestoney spangle action on our
Yeah, like
built
like
in.
like like almost like opal. Like their skin is like opaline and they have like just these
Mm.
little tiny almost like bismuth opaline style kind of growths on them, you know?
Oh, you're talking about like bismuth is my. If I have to pick an element, other than like carbon and oxygen and like what calcium, I don't know, hydrogen. Like bismuth is dope. There's chunks of there's. I'm not gonna move, but there's chunks of bismuth on that shelf. Bismuth. If you don't know what a bismuth looks like, other than Pepto Bismol, check it out. The foundation of your new fantasy world, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh yeah.
is the best. Okay, I like Genasi, and it's funny. I like Earth Genasi playing with. Are we still playing with fire?
I would say like fire's in their pocket, but they aren't necessarily like that's not like their full thing. I would say
Hmm.
whatever's going to be the flashiest, brightest magic that they can find. Like if they're going to be at an audience, maybe they're casting fairy fire on the audience. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I feel like flashy would be their thing.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so the next column is going to give us like one step into the Dungeon Master's world. We're going to get a friendly faction on that D4 that jumped up on you.
That is going to be a one.
One, Strife and Drownal, marching band of retired veterans who spread peace through music.
I like that. I like that. I feel like it maybe if it's we could just shift it from instead of like a marching band, like just a nice little like jazz band or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like,
Sure,
oh
sure, sure.
yeah. Yeah, she's used to performing with them. They're her buddies. They're her backup. You know what I mean?
Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, yeah, you'll like step up into their set at like the underground
Yeah.
cool tavern club.
If she sees them playing someplace, she's like, yeah, they don't care if I just pop up there. You know what I mean?
And then they're like, yeah, they're part of the act. Oh,
Oh
I
yeah.
love that. And they have their own thing going.
Oh yeah.
And I just got oh man, what's the Muppet Band? I don't know why, but I just got a flash of like the Electric Mayhem, but playing jazz instead of but I don't know, my head's always full of Muppets. It can't be helped. D6 asset and allies, a friendly NPC.
Six.
We know a guy, or they can. Old Livy, traveler who tells the news and history for a living, collects stories and spoons. Love a good spoon collection. Traveler tells the
I like
news and
that.
history for a living, and spoons. How do we know Old Livy? Or what's Old Livy doing for us?
Hmm. Old
Traveler.
Livy knows the news and stories of people finding treasures. Maybe Livy is their inside man for how they find scrolls and everything.
Mm, built-in like quest giver.
Yeah. They know when they see Livy, they're in for finding some good treasure, you know?
So I'm gonna say that Livy likes jazz. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Livy likes jazz. Like
And I like the idea that yeah, the band can like throw down if necessary, though they rather not. Okay, so this is something that maybe not every table is gonna utilize for every game, but D10's the one thing here that big number good because this is our magic item or a significant object. Ones can get a little more like trinkety.
this is a one.
Oh, one. Okay. Broken Quill, a significant work to the world or just to the character, came from its worn down nib. So this I mean, maybe this wrote some spell scrolls, if that's what we're.
Maybe it's mm, give me. I got gears turning. I got gears turning.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, take your time.
Maybe she lost her parents to magic, but violent magic, and so she uses magic to turn it into something more beautiful. And it was her dad or mom's quill because they used to be a scroll writer, and that's how she learned her first few spells. So
Damn.
she keeps it
Okay.
as sentiment.
Yeah. That's that elevated the whole thing pretty quickly. That's deep. I like it. And yeah, I like that a lot actually, because there's like this like reclamation of the magic.
Yep,
And
it's
also maybe
her reminder to keep it positive and to always remind people they don't have to use something beautiful for something so horrible.
mm, because it's all but like yeah, medium storm can take out a whole bunch of people, but it also is like well, that's pretty cool. You know, you set one of those off into like the ocean or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
that's a significant entertaining
Oh
moment.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. So it's like the family business that we're picking up to a degree.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that as much as like her family had magic, you know what I mean?
Hmm,
And she
hmm.
didn't pick up performing to find something more beautiful in magic until after they were gone.
So yeah, so it's like a transformative act to make art with this. I mean,
Pain of hers.
magic is the
Yeah.
medium. Yeah.
Yep.
Love that. Cool. Um, Man, yeah, I really actually really like that. Give me anything else before we switch hats here. That's like this is the player facing side. We're gonna turn the page, go to more like the dungeon master's domain and do some world building around this character. But is there anything
I
what
like her. I like her.
yeah.
I like I think it was I like the prompts. They're just specific enough that, not too specific to where I feel like I'm boxed into stuff, but they're just enough that I can run with. I like it.
Thank you. That's the goal. So I will say I'm gonna give you another if you were my player, I would let you roll a D10 again. I let ones get re-rolled. You hang on to them, but if like I don't know, the other four people sitting around you got magic items and you got like a powerful sentimental to incorporate to your backstory trinket, like that's cool. But there's gonna come a point where you're like, man, I wish I also got something that did stuff. So re-roll the D10. What else are we gonna add?
Oh man, but I don't know. I feel like she'd run with it. I feel like it's her spirit that really
We
calls
don't
to her,
have,
you know?
and I'm not
I'm
replacing it. I'm not replacing it.
Yeah. Oh
But
no, I know
you
you're not
could
replacing it, but
okay.
I think it speaks more powerfully to her message and what she's fighting for to be just going with it no matter what she has on her.
You know, I respect. Okay, so we got a Genasi entertainer. Did we drill down on class, subclass? Do we have like I mean magic's here.
Yeah, magic's here.
It's interesting too because Earth Genasi feels like so like I don't know, that makes slow and steady. It's a little more like staid. It's the jazz musician of
Oh yeah.
magic, of magician. It's the jazz she's a jazz magician.
See, I almost exclusively play martial classes. So this is where it gets a little tricky for me.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. You know what? No, I have a player, a wizard. It's got to be a wizard
Mm,
because the most horrifying things I've ever seen at my table have come from a wizard, but still so beautiful.
mm.
So beautiful. It's just it's terrifying. Like I feel like it has to be that choice too. You know what I mean? Like whereas like if it was in their blood, I feel like it wouldn't be as powerful of a decision that they make to continue using magic and finding something beautiful in it, you know?
Wow. Yeah, because it's a wizard is many things, but like studious. They put in the work.
Hmm.
They've honed
Oh
their
yeah.
craft. It's not just, yeah, Daddy was a dragon, so now I can spit fireballs. It's like, nah, I studied for this. I worked for this. Sorry, is
Oh
that just
yeah.
happens at my tables? I don't know. Cool. Okay. Anything else that you want to add to the player side before we turn the page? I'm content. We don't I don't know if we need anything, but I'd like to give you the chance to if you want it.
No, I like her just the way she is.
Solid. Okay.
Actually, wait,
Yeah.
last thing,
Yeah.
and maybe it is because of my love for Marshall. She doesn't use magic for violence. Multi-class her into a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of there's ways to get like a martial
Oh
class.
yeah.
I mean, if we're talking like in the 5e context or the Pathfinder context, there's ways to get a martial character to have quarter. I mean, like, I don't know, paladins are half casters, but like, yeah, the Eldritch
I
Knight,
think
there's
oh
ways to
yeah,
get there.
Eldritch Knight Wizard. Let's
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, if you build an Earth Genasi, I want them to like, there's a physicality. I want them to like
Oh yeah.
grudge up. They're the opposite of a glass cannon in my brain, which I like contrast and juxtapositions, but I also like somebody punching somebody with a opally fist. Um, okay, so you can roll a d6 or you can roll four d6s at the same time, whatever you like.
I will do one at a time, so I don't gotta take out more. Three.
Respect. Okay, so this is an antagonistic organization, a group that maybe is not super friendly with us three. You said three. The rabble rousers inflame hatred and violence under the guise of irreverent comedy. I know these guys. Inflame hatred and violence. That feels so antithetical to the character you built already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Like,
I like it.
I hate that, but like not like I don't like it. I hate that for her. I just
But
like
yeah, well, that's what we're going for, right?
oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. 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 It's a good hatred. Is that a thing? Good hatred? Good just like
I mean, I bet they think so. Inflame hatred and violence on the guys we're really, and then that's such a good like little vehicle to slide in just like the conflict and politics of this world. Like it's not just like a battle with flags flying over armies. It's like these guys talking shit.
yeah, I
Let you
could just
know.
see her being like mid show, just being like, I could just drop a fireball. I could just drop a fireball. I could just drop a fire like
Yeah,
um
you're in some weird like festival situation where like you're not sharing a stage, but like you're opening for them or whatever. They're
uh,
like the next tent over.
they're like heckling her at some point, it's just would anybody know? Would anybody know if I just made an oops? Would anybody know it's not an oops? Like
Mm.
oh, I hate that. Okay.
Because that's the thing, you build into like not a pacifist character because that's hard. I mean, you do it, but it's challenging. But like having
She's
a
like a magically pacifist character, like she doesn't want to use magic for violence. That doesn't mean she won't punch someone.
yeah,
But if she did it with magic and an oopsie poopsie, she'd get away with it. You know what I mean? Like this, that's where they get under her skin because she can't do it. She can't do it, but she wants to. She can't. It's like
but she might. The rules are made to be broken. God, I really like that. Give me another D6, and we're gonna drill down into a singular NPC.
it's gonna be a 5.
A five. I feel like you summoned this. Heckler Vic, failed acolyte who
Oh
drunkenly
god.
interrupts performances with
I
slurred
did.
sermons. Okay, he's got a platform too.
I did. I did. I did. I did. I just willed that into existence. I didn't even see that down there until just now. God. I asked for it. Like,
Uh,
oh.
so maybe he's part of the rabble rousers, or just like follows them around.
I like the idea that he's a part of them, but he's not a part of their show. Like he just torments anybody who goes before or after them to make them look bad. You know what I mean?
Oh God, he's a toxic fan
Yeah.
of a toxic
But he's not a
group.
fan. He's like a part of them. You know what I mean? And then like whenever they get to a new location, he's like, "Okay, good show, guys. Let's go." And then when they break off, he goes into the crowd and pretends like he's just a random person.
God, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that.
that's a thing. That's a thing. All right, moving on. D6, an evocative location.
3.
A three, the Silent Halls, ruins of a monastery where a magical silence persists. So no more.
Maybe that's where her parents passed.
Whoa, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because we get like I don't know, in a D&D context, you say monastery, I think like monks, but also like clerics, like knowledge cleric, yeah, wizards too. Yeah, just like people working on magic. Something happened. Ooh, ooh. Hold Something happened and now there's no music. There's no joy in Mudville. There's no music in the silent halls because it's magically silent and now you got a jazz band backing you up.
Yeah.
Ooh, poignant. I like this one. Cool. I also find like these are the locations are the easiest generally for me when I'm doing this with like a bunch of different player character backstories to like form
Hmm.
those links. Factions are sometimes good for that, but like you got a place you can put a bunch of people in there. But man, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. One last roll of the D6 for a thematic monster. And sometimes these are like a
Or
one-off. Sometimes these are like the big bad evil guy of the campaign. Four is shadow puppets arise from a magic lantern suffused with necrotic energy, or a tiki torch Bluetooth speaker.
mm, if it's necrotic energy, I feel like it's just like these it's like haunting visages of her parents.
Oh,
Yeah. Just keep tying back to that. And if that's gonna be like a big bad for her, even if it's not the big bad of the story, but her big bad, I feel
hmm.
like having that used against her in that way, that hits different, you know?
Yeah, I see you, Naigobi. You're the gut punch emotional dungeon master. Yeah, sometimes, maybe. Oh, yeah, there it is. Saw it.
Yeah, people are always like, you're too gentle on your players. Your players should fear death. And I'm like, look, you think I'm keeping them alive for their coziness. I'm keeping them alive long enough to rip their heart out when they do die.
Uh, that's what's up. There's different way. There's many ways to get there, folks. And yeah, if you think you're the one right way to play D&D, that means you haven't tried enough ways. Sorry about it. I do want to say you gave me I think the best compliment I've had so far about this show, and like everyone's been very kind, thank you. But I invited in the Dungeon Tuber 5 room dungeon jam that's coming up. I was talking to some people. And you were like, "Yeah, let me check you out first," which is a perfectly reasonable response. And you called the show cozy. I was like, "Wow, yeah, I didn't even yes, beautiful." Like I'm gonna put that on the header now.
It is, and it's. I love cozy content creators. It's my favorite. I think even in my recent video, people are tired. Everyone's really tired. So
Yeah,
finding a place where you don't have to be so tired, it feels like you're taking a load off. I live for
yeah,
that.
yeah. Hang out. I never really saw myself, and I'm like, I'm drinking tea. Like, yeah, I guess guilty as charged. But yeah, I'm gonna start wearing like Mr. Rogers sweaters or something. I'm in his neighborhood. Well,
You
actually,
gotta.
he lived in a nicer neighborhood, but I'm in his city. Uh, all right. One final D20 to wrap this all up or completely throw a curveball in the process. D20, the swingiest of dice, is going to give us a plot hook, a story seed,
7.
a 7, an entry for the quest board here. A viral dance craze is actually a ritual opening passages to another plane when performed well.
Oh yeah, I could see her having a performance where she literally opens for somebody and then they come out and do this and then all of a sudden everything goes into a disaster mode.
Yeah, love love that. The cool thing about writing like hundreds of these is you kind of like forget what's on here sometimes, and that's funny. And then maybe that's no, that the yeah, that's not us. But yeah, and especially I don't know, jazz is a lot of things, but like snooty perhaps is one of them. It feels like the opposite of like a structured, especially a viral dance craze. But who knows? It's a fantasy world. Maybe it is a jazz dance. But yeah, it feels like we're at this festival. The rabble rousers
See,
feel like they're
I
going
think
to be
about
the
old
problem.
when I think about jazz, I think about old fashioned jazz. Maybe it's just because I'm a bit of a record collector, but
Ooh, yeah,
I think of when jazz was the breakaway. It was the no form to it. It's,
yeah,
most of the time when you look at, nowadays jazz is a lot more calm. You hear it in restaurants, but old jazz, classic jazz, where they didn't even have notes half the time, nothing in front of them, and they were just ripping on it.
yeah. This is like I'm getting Thelonious Monk like pounding uh opalescent fists smashing a piano. Yeah, this is not Kenny G. But I don't know, maybe I mean like it could be like earlier
depends
still like
depends on where she's
ragtimey.
at.
Yeah.
Maybe depending on the gig. Maybe some of them they get to just go full Cab Calloway and she's on the piano, whereas others, if it's a nice restaurant, depends situation to
Because we're
situation.
entertained, yeah. So like, yeah, maybe we were like playing, like, man, I don't know. Maybe this is like a wedding. We were just like, we gotta, I don't know, need gold to fund the quest for spell scrolls are expensive, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, you're not like your heart's not in every gig. And then yeah, somebody opens up a passage to whatever one of the many hells, or some elemental plane if we're playing with like Genasi themes again.
Hmm. I like
Um,
that.
cool. Okay. Anything to add before we wrap this up and tie a bow on
I like it. I like all of it. So I
it?
feel, I feel like I shouldn't add it. It's perfect the way that it is. So I don't want to add anything. Like the dice spoke for me.
Hmm. Cool. Acceptable. Yeah, and it's interesting too. Well, I guess we kind of made it was third person, but like in D20 questions, I'm gonna flip the screen for a sec. In D20 questions, ba-da-da-da, there we are. Um, you were laying out a very interesting method, which I kind of want to dive into more of like you take your player's backstory and you cook with it, you adapt it, you change
Oh
it.
yeah.
Tell me more about that because you went into it, but I do want to hear more about that.
So I feel like it helps a lot to get a better understanding, and I never really change details of it. A great example is going to be sorry, I had smooth speaking of jazz, smooth jazz playing in the background to keep me calm, and it just auto played into heavy duty EDM and my brain went gone. Like I was like
We can
like
adjust the playlist. We got time. That's cool.
yeah.
Keep it cozy. Or we can get weird with it. I don't know. Whatever you want. That's
I can't focus with because it started playing mid track, and when I hear "Hey baby girl, what you doing?" and not from jazz, I
yeah.
can't. Sorry.
Am
Ooh,
I at the
that
gym
that
right now? What are we doing? I thought.
that hit like a truck. Anyways, um, okay, back to normal calming music so I can think again. Um, yeah, so I like to rewrite their stories from just simply a different perspective. One of the best examples I can give, it's a very short example, if I even have it written under her name, because I know if I tell her not to watch this, she won't. I trust her.
Hmm.
Like, um, but one of my players came to me and she was like, she gave me these basic story beats, and now watch me not be able to find it. This is organizing.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot for like actual real live demonstration.
Oh, you're all good. It's the easiest way to explain it,
Sure, sure, sure.
like, um, because it's short. I'm
You're
sorry.
good. I just like it's always interesting to me to see how people do things differently. Especially like picking up that and like using it in a way that like I never conceived of originally, even.
Yeah, and it made it so much easier for me whenever I needed to work with stuff. I'm trying to remember how it started, and if I can remember how it started, it's fine. Whatever. So basically she came to me and she is the only she doesn't know these details, but she is a full-blooded tiefling. So she has full horns, wings, tail. Um, and this is again this very young world. Now there are these four eldritch beasts which are of like original being before the gods even existed, and three of them are just evil. It's just what evil is, and one of them is she's joy. She is immediate happiness. She is good-ish. But you think about somebody on the corner, if they are homeless because they're a drug addict, a good god would take them and save them from that and get them clean and get them a home and get them nice. And she'd be like, "Want more drugs?"
Mm.
Because it's that immediate gratification. Not
Mhm.
necessarily monkey's paw, just immediate gratification. People with a good heart and good intent will find her to be the greatest of all because she'll just keep giving good things. So this character came to me, and so it's this tiefling who she very young was abandoned, and then she got adopted by this tribe of people who they are like half giants, Goliaths, and some half orcs, and they're in this nomadic tribe. One day the whole village got burned down, and she was the only survivor, and she doesn't know what happened, and she's lived in the woods her whole life, and so she's now going on this journey to try and find it. So when I wrote the story about this first full-blooded tiefling, the first sign of malevolence to come to this world.
Mm.
And it's this very like I'm pretty proud of my writing on it, so I don't want to be like, oh, this beautiful story, but it's about the way that the world would inevitably shun her. The world would treat her bad, and it is not her who is greeting them with her image. It is the image of malevolence. And because of the way that they would treat her with hatred and fear instead of what created her, that she would eventually become the icon of war because of the way that people treat her. And so that is the story that I reference when I look at her. And um, obviously, she can defy that. She can go on about her journey. But when I reference that, that's how the world is going to greet her. Does that make some sense?
Yeah, I love that because it's like picking up the ball and running with things is the core loop of D&D that doesn't get like expressed enough. Like
Mm-hmm.
you hear a lot about yes ending, which is a very is one way to think of it, but like this is like deep at the source level.
Yeah.
um so yeah, I really like that too. It's like clearly, I mean, obviously I don't know your player or their intentions, but it seems like handing that to a player, they'd be like, "Oh yes, sick, please." Right?
Yes.
It's not.
But but she never gets to read that. She has no idea that that story exists.
Oh, ooh, interesting. Okay, I did not
Yes.
realize that element of the whole thing.
Uh-huh. So when I
Interesting.
rewrite them, I rewrite it with all the things that they wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
So that way, they will get to read it after the campaign and
Hmm.
see what my part in what the world had planned for them and how they defied that or how they rose to that heroic story. Yeah, but they don't get to see it. That's why you never change details on their character. You don't change your story. You just add the perspective.
Yeah, I really like that because that also like gives you a lot of freedom to change it based on what they're saying, and that actually gives them, the player, more freedom because they're not like actively trying to conform or
Mm-hmm.
potentially thwart your like
Yeah.
if you are making your decisions based on like okay I'm not doing that you're still being controlled. You're
Yeah.
still letting that guide you, so like I like
It's the
yeah I
idea
like
that
that a lot.
it's the idea that the world always has different plans for you, and how you respond to that is what makes you who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, beautiful. I really like that. Okay, I'm gonna badger you to make a video about that soon because I still want to hear more about that. But on the way out, I want you to tell the world about your the next big thing. I mean, you're you're
Oh,
you're currently in the midst of becoming a big thing, but
yeah. So
lay it on us. What do you got?
I have a podcast that is hopefully becoming an actual play once we have set builds done and everything like that. It is called Inspiration One, since the greatest heroes are not made from success, but in the failures that they overcome. I find nat ones are so much more interesting than the nat 20s. You ask somebody their favorite nat 20, and they might be like, I did double damage just one time, but they always remember their favorite nat ones. And that's where our characters are built. And that's what I love about it, and the storytelling and the aspects. So I have 3 different campaigns that are actually in the works of planning that I am working out casting for. I have a play test this weekend of a one shot to see if I have one of the crews for one of them. One of them is how to make friends at the end of the world, and it is quite literally the world is ending, and a group of adventurers trying to survive the literal apocalypse. One is the post apocalyptic bunker of the Underdark and those who have survived the disasters. And the other one actually takes place in a totally different world than my usual homebrew, which is called No Boys Allowed. And it is actually a video game with these girls who go up to their treehouse and they go to get on their game, and the actual campaign takes place in the game.
Mm.
So it is a lot that I have working right now to get everything together. But once I get the players, we're going to be hitting the ground with that. We have our equipment. I'm an artist, so I'm getting all the art together. It's just a matter of time at this point and making sure that I have the right people, because I want to make sure, as much as I want to have fun with it and I want my players to have fun, that you guys get to enjoy the story just as much.
That is super exciting. I was expecting one thing, and we're getting 3 things.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I've also been trying to, it's, Inspiration One is not just going to be for me and my DMing. I've been trying to talk my partner into potentially DMing for it as well, but it's going to, with any luck, be it's going to be hopefully a hub for storytelling.
Hmm.
So yeah.
That sounds awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Seeing what you've done already. Yeah, and what you're capable, like the idea of like, yeah, we're working on the set, right? Like you're not just, oh, we're gonna post our home game. Like you are putting out like a audience facing
Yeah,
collaboration to start.
that
Like,
is that is a hope right now. If the play test goes well, we have a couple of cosplayers. Very excited for everyone to join. We may have guest stars from some awesome people from, again, cosplay community and VTube community, and just doing my best. I'm trying to keep my head on straight.
well, please don't burn out, because we
Won't
want
I won't I
to
won't I
take
promise.
control of yourself.
Like, I do my best, but
Oh man. Well, this was great. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. You're clearly very busy and have a
yeah. But it's
lot of
been an
plate spinning.
honor. It's been awesome hanging out with you, and it was like so cool to get invited here too. So I genuinely thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. It was good. Come back sometime. We'll do it again.
You let me know when, I'll show up.
Good.
Like,
All right. Knigobi, thank you. Links down below. Check her out. Like, subscribe, all of the things. And thanks for watching this, and we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.